Another race, another Kyle Larson victory. I mean, the first two I had some wild intros for. The last one I didn't, and this one, all I can say is this guy is running out of his freaking mind. What's up, guys? Meow. I'm back with another video today, and we got our Cup Series race reaction from Nashville. NASCAR's return to Nashville, and we had a lot to talk about today. So before we get into it, I want to get this out of the way now. Make sure to use my code ANJJ for free shipping on orders of $20 or more at Circle Diecast. For all you Kyle Larson fans, you're going to need that because you guys, you're going to be buying a lot of Kyle Larson merch with all of these wins. And also make sure to use my Steel Vendor, or my link to Steel Vendor's random fantasy picks when going to make picks, of course, if you have Twitter. So, Aric Almirola would qualify on pole. Kyle Larson qualified like third, I believe. William Byron, unapproved adjustments. Erik Jones repairs after scraping the wall in qualifying. And Quinn Houff, unapproved adjustments, would go to the rear. NASCAR actually had to push the start of the race back to 3:55 Eastern from 3:45 Eastern due to traffic issues, reports of state troopers having the wrong areas blocked off and things like that. And Jenna Fryer would say that NASCAR wanted a longer delay for more time to get people in seats. Traffic issues are threefold. Apparently, apps are sending people to the wrong exit where they get trapped. There's poor cell service off the interstate and cash-only parking. NASCAR would said, screw it, free parking basically at one point just to get people in. And yeah, it was a clusterfuck. But the place was sold out otherwise. It actually was. Like the first time since last year's Daytona 500. And Bob Pockrass will report that Austin Dillon wasn't feeling well, but was expected to run the whole race, and he would. And right before the race started, Kevin Harvick has his crew chief tell Ryan Blaney's team that the left rear quarter panel of the 12 is buckled and messed up. Happened when Blaney came up on the track off pit road. Blaney would have to come to pit road for repairs and would start at the back. We get the race going, and one lap in, we get a caution for Quinn Houff. He gets in the wall after his tire literally comes off, or he hit the wall and his tire came off. One of the two. His day would be done. Logano would have a save on the front stretch after slight contact with Aric Almirola, and NASCAR would radio to confiscate the tire that came off of Houff's car when he wrecked and take it to the hauler. Pockrass said to see if it was like improperly put on or something like that, and if that's the case, it could be a 4-week suspension for the crew chief, the jackman, or the tire changer and the jackman. So we will keep an eye out on that. And by we, I mean me. Ryan Blaney would pit, and then Martin Truex Jr. and then Denny Hamlin, which means green flag pit stop started. Tyler Reddick would spin exiting pit road, and the caution would come out. A lot of drivers would be a lap down. About 15 or so were on the lead lap. Matt DiBenedetto would get the free pass, and a bunch of drivers would get the wave around. Cole Custer and Ross Chastain both got speeding penalties. And a little while later, or not long later actually, caution would come back out again, this time for Ryan Blaney, who gets in the wall. His day is done. He reported earlier that when he pitted to begin green flag pit stops, that he felt like he was having brake issues. So yeah, his day is done. William Byron would come down pit road with a lot of right front damage, and then we would get going again. Now, Byron's damage, we don't know exactly what happened there, what caused that. So I apologize for not being able to bring you that piece of information. But anyway, then we get another caution, this time for Chris Buescher, and funny enough, or not funny enough, Justin Haley as well. Buescher had a tire go down, and he ended up in the wall. And then but Haley had a tire go down, and he got in the wall about the same time. Denny Hamlin reports that they hit something big and it hit the front of the nose. Pockrass reported that Haley blew a brake rotor, and Buescher hit a piece of debris and hit the wall, which is because Haley was out in front of him. Buescher was done with broken rotor and lost engine fluid. Haley's day would be done as well. Most of the field would pit while Chase Elliott stayed out. Alex Bowman and Corey LaJoie both got speeding penalties. Chris Gabehart would report to Denny Hamlin that Hamlin got some damage to the lower fascia. It's not terrible, but there's nothing that the team could do about it, and it would be worse if they put Bear Bond on it. Excuse me. So we get the race going again, and stage 1 would end with Chase Elliott picking up the W. Kurt Busch second, Kyle Larson third, Daniel Suarez fourth, Kyle Busch fifth, Austin Dillon sixth, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. seventh, Brad Keselowski eighth, Joey Logano ninth, and Martin Truex Jr. Not DiBenedetto 10th. And it was nice to see some different guys up here. Suarez, Dillon, Stenhouse, DiBenedetto. And Mark Truex Jr. would have a pit road violation. He was not single file coming in. We saw this yesterday with AJ Allmendinger and somebody else. MTJ's team was not too happy about it. It was sort of a ticky-tack kind of thing. I understand why NASCAR does it, but it is what it is. You have to start on the right and then move over to the left once you get towards your pit box. But anyway, Bubba Wallace had damage to his roof, which is the second time that's happened, only this time was more pronounced than last. Not sure what caused that, but it happened. DiBenedetto actually lost a cylinder at one point during this race, so he was running on 7 cylinders for a large part of the race. David Starr would suffer a flat tire. Race would remain green, and then he would go to the garage. Well, my arm. Bubba Wallace would blow a left rear tire. Caution would come out for him. He didn't hit the wall though, so that was good. David Starr's team said the rotor blew apart, left front to be exact, and Wallace said that there was debris within sight of the flagman, and NASCAR asked the flagman prior to the caution if there was any debris. So some drivers would pit. Mark Truex Jr. and J.J. Yeley both got speeding penalties, and Christopher Bell got an uncontrolled tire penalty. Chris Knight would report that Matt DiBenedetto's team cannot fix the cylinder issue. David Starr's day would be done. Chad Fincham would pit and then go to the garage with something wrong in the front end. Cole Custer would have an issue. Tire goes down. Caution would come out. He reported that he lost brakes. He ended up going to the garage. This was a big deal. Brakes were a huge issue during this race, and I think it had to do with the package. I'm not sure. Nashville's like a 1.333 mile intermediate. I think they were running some sort of short track type package, and with the short tracks, it's you're gassing up on the straightaways, and then you have to get hard on the brakes. So, and it's not as fast as, again, like a Nashville. So compared to like Martinsville. So I think that's where the issue came from, and that's why we saw a lot of guys either report or have brake issues throughout the race. As I said, Custer would go to the garage. Stenhouse Jr. actually got saved by this caution, as it was reported that he had a tire going down from running over debris. Kyle Larson would take the Stage 2 victory. By the way, Elliott winning Stage 1 broke Larson's stage winning streak, but of course, again, he just starts a new one. Austin Dillon gets around Chase Briscoe for second at the end of the stage. Briscoe third, William Byron fourth, Kyle Busch fifth, Denny Hamlin sixth, Chase Elliott seventh, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. eighth, Aric Almirola ninth, and Kevin Harvick in 10th. And pretty much from here on out, it was complete and utter Kyle Larson domination. And I think the only reason, Larson's like 9 points behind Hamlin in the standings, points wise. I think the only reason why that is because Hamlin got Stage 2 points. I mean, so did Larson, but still. But anyway, so Kyle Busch makes slight contact with the wall. We get a caution that came out for Ryan Preece. He spins it around, but keeps it off the wall. Right front tire was down. Some drivers would pit. Kyle Busch was told that he might have a tire down. Unfortunately, Preece's day would be done with a brake issue. Anthony Alfredo had a left rear tire rub. Kyle Busch gets in the wall a bit. Bubba Wallace spins. Caution will come out again. Tire down. He spins but doesn't hit the wall. And then Parker says the wall might have had contact with McDowell. So that happened. Ross Chastain would stay out while pretty much everybody else pitted. Then we get another caution, this time for Chase Briscoe. Lost his brakes, got in the wall, and officials said to look for broken brake parts on the track. Harvick had some damage near the right front fender. Several drivers pitted. Briscoe's day would be done with the damaged vehicle policy. Larson would get some debris on his grill, and then some more debris on his grill for about 3 laps, and then caught up to the lap car of J.J. Yeley and got it off. Brad Keselowski reported at one point that he thought he had a brake issue. Daniel Suarez reports brake issues with 40 to go. Chase Elliott complaining with a possible tire brake issue. Keselowski would actually end up getting lapped. He was back in the mid-20s with the issue. Stenhouse Jr. actually got into Kurt Busch, almost turned him, or he almost got into Kurt Busch and almost turned him. It was pretty close. Truex Jr. would have to pit late. Denny Hamlin would have to pit late. Kyle Larson, and like I said, Kyle Larson, even though Ross Chastain charged all the way up to second, it would not be enough. Larson had way too big of a gap, and Kyle Larson wins yet again. This is his third in a row, 4 if you want to count the All-Star race. He's now got 4 wins on the season. Utter freaking domination. There's nothing else to say here. There really isn't anything else to say. Kurt Busch would come across the line out of gas. Chastain would finish second. Suarez nabbed the top 10 in 7th. And, fun fact, this marks Valvoline's first win as a primary sponsor since how long ago? Johnny Benson at Rockingham in 2002. I think that's Benson's lone win in the Cup Series. Yeah, no, he was only scored 1 win in the Cup Series. So, Valvoline had not won as a primary sponsor since then until today. Kyle Larson gets it done. He's going to go home with a guitar. I just don't know, man. This is insane how much he's dominated the last several weeks. And I think some people are getting tired of it, honestly. And I can't blame them because it's the same guy winning week in and week out. And it's like Kyle Busch in the Xfinity Series. Nobody's got anything for Kyle right now. Hell, if he didn't get ran down by Blaney, I believe at Atlanta, he would have 5 wins on the season. I mean, and if you look back at the Daytona Road Course, he overdid one of the corners coming back onto the racetrack and spun out. Had he not done that, I don't know what would have happened, but he could have had a top 10, top 5 maybe. If he had the speed, possibly could have won. Again, Larson, he has 4 wins when he could have at least 5. He's literally Kevin Harvick and Denny Hamlin last year, and neither of them have a win. By the way, it was really awesome to see the Gravedigger car to finish in the top 5. I really wanted to see it win. But either way, happy Father's Day, by the way. And that was an awesome Father's Day present from Keelan Harvick to Kevin. And Kevin did one hell of a job driving it. And again, getting it to the top 5 and finishing up there. So, with all of that being said, oh, by the way, have to acknowledge it, the pedigree curse continues for Kyle Busch with all the issues he had today, despite the fact that he qualified on the front row. And while Custer and Briscoe had issues, Almirola, who qualified on the pole, and Harvick, they both did pretty freaking well. They ran in the top 5 for a lot of the race. Almirola held his own for the most part. So, props to both of them. I believe Stenhouse also finished in the top 10. I think Almirola did also. So, really awesome to see that. And right now, hey, we get the Pocono doubleheader next week. Speaking of, I believe I mentioned it last video, but I cannot wait to see Sheldon Creed in that number 2 Chaos and Kindness truck. I hope he wins. I want to see him win at Pocono because I want to see that car get made. Or that truck get made as a diecast. Will it? Who knows. But next week we get the Pocono doubleheader. We know what happened last year. Harvick took one of them. Hamlin took the other. No. Did Harvick sweep him? Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I think Harvick took one and Hamlin took the other. I could be wrong. But it's going to be wild. And we'll see we'll have to see what Kyle Larson can do, because is he going to sweep Poco? Is he just going to win every race from here on out? Bro, because that's what this feels like right now. Really does. But again, make sure to use my code ANJJ for free shipping on orders of $20 or more. Looking at you, Kyle Larson fans. If you're going to go shop at Circle B Diecast, you're going to want the free shipping. And, of course, make sure to use the link down below to see vendors' random fantasy picks when making your picks. If you have Twitter, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like and subscribe. Happy Father's Day. I will see you all next time. Peace.